name is Tara Ulrich, and I am the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Manager for Tax and PAS. So my session today is going to be how valuable your mindset is opposed to your skill set. Don't get me wrong, your skill set is still valuable and has a big place into what we do here at EY. But your mindset and what you as a unique individual bring is more golden to us. So when I originally started at EY 8 years ago, oh my gosh, a very long time ago, it was an intimidating place. Not because of the people that work here, because they are all fabulous, but the fact is I was fresh out of high school, I'd completed some studies, and then all of a sudden I'm working in the city where I'm surrounded by these big buildings, these people in suits, and you feel like you're a duck out of water. You've got all of these smart people around you, and you're sitting there going, what am I doing here? And what really resonated with me was that I always had this mindset that I am capable and I bring enough. I bring a uniqueness to whatever I'm doing, whether that be hardworking, whether that be willing to admit my wrongs, willing to ask questions, whatever it was, I knew that that's what made me stand out from a crowd. So even in a pool of all these smart, hardworking, dedicated, trustworthy professionals, I knew that I had found my place while working here at EY. And I hope over the next, 15 or so minutes, I'm able to bring a little bit of a taste of what EY is, what we do, and how you can contribute one day in the future to possibly a working professional here at EY. The world, as you've all seen, changes so quickly. I mean, over the last 3 years, how quickly has things changed, how innovative have people become. And we're all constantly learning. 3 years ago, going on a session like this, being with my video, with a headset, wasn't something that I did regularly. Whereas now it's second nature to be on a computer and interacting with colleagues and peers this way. There are things that I originally did when I first started that I no longer do here at EY. So I just really want to bring that back and to see that these 4 things are just part of what are relevant and what employers are looking for when they're recruiting for their teams. Organisational skills, self-management skills, research skills, time management, yes, communication skills, fantastic. And all of these skills can be developed on your own. You don't need to go do a university degree to have communication skills or empathy or time management. These are all internal skills and mindset skills that we build individually. And these are some of the skills that we look at here at EY as so valuable and what makes us EY a fantastic firm. So by the end of 2022, there actually is about 42% of core skills required to perform existing jobs, and they do think that this is going to change. So there's an estimated 133 million new jobs across the globe that will be created to meet these new requirements of this new revolution that we're going through. COVID happened, and that has really given companies a different perspective on how we work, how our people work, what is required, what isn't required. And so it's been a really big shift. And I'm wondering if anyone has noticed a shift in your day-to-day life because of the impact of COVID. We're also seeing a growing need for people needing to develop specialised social skills and how skills we interact with each other. So this involves, like we can see on the screen, you've got creativity and innovation, you've got collaboration, you've got interpersonal dynamic skills, how we talk to one another, not only through a screen and through email, but also in person. And also sales, human resources, care, education, all of these soft skills are just as important as your technical hard skills. That's kind of how we break it up. So soft skills, a lot more personable, a lot more of what you can bring and your uniqueness. Then you've got your hard skills, which is more the degrees, the technical ones, the things that you kind of have to further your studies on in order to gain. So companies like EY, we really appreciate, we really encourage, and we like to be ahead of the curve in making sure that that all of our staff and especially our graduates in particular have got a really good balance of both their soft skills and their hard skills when they're coming into work. So following on, we've got keeping pace with change. As I mentioned earlier, I feel not only here at EY, but globally, everyone has been very adaptive to the changes that have happened. As I've mentioned, new technologies are rapidly learning and changing and leading new business models and new industries. Zoom and Teams and WhatsApp and Kahoot and all of these fantastic online profiles have really popped up, and people are utilising them since what has happened in the last 3 years. But it's not really realistic to master and understand all of these 100%, whether that's analytics or data, AI coding, or all of these different things. But with the right mindset, you can pivot, you can be agile, and you can forward think, which is a lot of those mindset-based skills that come with that come with being able to be rapidly innovative and rapidly ahead of the curve. So some of the skill sets that you might require, through your education that you're currently doing, your work experience, but more importantly, is how you learn and act, or how your mindset is, in determining your own success. So this is your belief in your own abilities, how you shape the lives that you lead and the actions that you take, and the future of your work. You are the control center of your future. So having the right mindset and right determination is the key to being future-proof. What I know today might not be relevant in 5 years' time, but it is relevant right now. And it's just about having that right mindset to be adaptive, to be willing for change, asking those right questions, and also accepting that you might not always know everything first go, but it's about being willing to learn. So having a really good positive mindset puts you in control of your growth and your development, and most importantly, your future. Perfect, thank you. So here at EY, we have identified 3 key mindsets that we believe are very critical to the success in this time of constant change, of things being constantly changing and all of these things happening. So these are our 3 mindsets that we think are really important. So you've got your analytics mindset, your innovation mindset, and also your global mindset. So to break these 3 down, you've got your analytics mindset, and this is the data, is about understanding the importance of data and the analytics to your profession. So through this, you can extract, you can transform, you can update and load relevant data and interpret, share the results, and make sure that all of that data is being explained internally and externally. So that's sort of analytics, the analytic mindset in a nutshell. And then you've got your innovation mindset. And so these are the ones that have the ability to drive disruption. So, the ones with the innovation mindset, you're the ones that are thinking about future opportunities that don't exist yet. You're the ones that are thinking outside the box. You're showing that passion for change, and you're questioning why we do existing things. Why is the wheel a wheel? How can we change it? How can we upgrade it? How can we make a change? How can we make an impact? So always thinking about how things can be done differently. And then you've got your global mindset. And so this is what I'm going to be really focusing on in today's session. A little bit of background is I actually worked for a global team here at EY. And so this really gave me a great incentive and a great inside look into how we can incorporate a global mindset into what we do. As an individual with a global mindset, it means that you've got that openness and that willingness to think and to work beyond your own perspectives and borders. So what that really means is that I'm not channeled to my lane. I'm constantly seeing what everyone else is doing, whether they're part of my team or they're not part of my team, whether they're based here in Australia or they're not based in Australia. It's being really open-minded to how things are done and being willing and open to learn, to see if that's, working really great over there, how can we do it over here? It's also taking into consideration different perspectives, being really curious and being really passionate about how, my colleagues from all these different parts of the world are working and what makes them different and their markets and their cultures. It's really being, at the end of the day, it's just really being curious. And I love that. I think someone earlier mentioned the curious mindset. And working here at EY, you definitely have to have a curious mindset and just always ask that question of why. So having that global mindset, I do tend to go off in a little tangent, but having that global mindset is it's an advantage at the end of the day. It means that you want to think, it means that you want to act, and it means you want to lead globally. So this is because you've got that openness to learn, that ability to lead inclusively, so making sure that everyone feels that they can be their true, authentic self, and combine knowledge. everyone's different perspectives can create a fabulous working team because you're all not thinking the same way. So you're learning and you're understanding things from different perspectives. This also means that by having a global mindset, we're able to provide our clients with better solutions because we're able to bring them different perspectives, and it also can drive innovation. Is the ability to view these different perspectives, and it kind of allows the mind to create new ideas and approach problems in new ways that you may not have always thought of. All new ideas, all new inventions all come from someone who challenged the existing way or challenged the existing solution and said, how can we make this better? What can we do to improve this? And that really comes down to having that drive of innovation. So having that global mindset, which means, thinking broadly, it's really important in today's day and age. It means that it is a really critical component to adapt in your ability to be yourself and to help your clients evolve as well. So making sure that you're thinking outside the box, thinking of how you can make sure that that person feels welcome and that you're being considerate of all of the very differences that we bring and that they bring. So as you start off on your careers, whatever that might be, the implications to you are enormous. You have to think global because you'll work with such a diverse mix of people and you'll have such exposure to all these fantastic cultures and religions and language and location. Like you really are at the forefront of all of this fantastic things that really will help drive you in your career. And it'll be such a mix for your colleagues and also your clients. These are just a few of the challenges and barriers that come up in a global organisation. So you've got language barrier, which I feel is pretty self-explanatory. A few of you have mentioned that. Understanding protocol. So that might mean that something that is socially accepted here in Australia might not be in Japan, for example. And so it's just making sure that you're being respectful and understanding that things could be different. Time zone in distance, problem solving and decision making. You might work in a really collaborative team where it doesn't matter, there's no hierarchy. So you can speak up in front of leadership and you can challenge leadership, but then that might not be socially, that might be a challenge, if you were, say, working with a team from Japan where they've just got a different problem solving and decision making protocols. Motivation, creating that sense of urgency. Again, that could be completely different depending on who you're dealing with and where they're coming from. Building relationships across cultural differences. I know in my time in the global team, I worked quite heavily with a team in Chile, quite randomly, and in the Netherlands. And both of them had just very different cultural backgrounds and different expectations and different working styles. And so I had to find myself adapting, but also reminding them that sometimes they had to adapt to my working style. And it's all really about being collaborative and being honest and open and willing to make sure that your everyone is able to build those relationships. Communicating virtually. I know that lately everyone's improving on it. We're doing really well, but it is still a different vibe. Not being able to see someone face to face. It still feels a bit different. I know we're very lucky to have fantastic forward technology, but there can be a bit of a barrier when you're not able to, be in the same room. And then you've got leading a virtual team. This again could come down to a lot of the different challenges and barriers that come through when you are leading a team. And then resolving conflict. I know that when I did my global time, things that may not have been an issue for somebody were an issue for somebody else. And it's really about coming together and seeing how you can resolve the situation, making sure that everyone is walking away understanding, the different perspectives, the different mindsets from the two different people. So there are challenges to working with a global mindset, but I can also guarantee you there is a lot more positive with working with a global mindset. It exposes you to this beautiful world of learning, growing and understanding and seeing different perspectives with all of your different colleagues, friends and peers. So global mindset, we are a broad mix of people and perspectives all in our team. So this means that in order to have these fabulous high-performing teams, we need to attract, empower and inspire the best people and sustain that working culture of high-performing teams that create a long-lasting impact on our clients and our teams. So high-performing teams use a diversity of skills, perspectives, backgrounds, and cultures to help solve problems and draw on different experiences to create effective solutions to meet the client's needs. So here, the high-performing team culture is what we believe sets EY apart from the competition, and it enables us really to be a bit more connected and responsive to our clients and give them that valuable insight. So in terms of the type of people that we're looking for, it's really about having that drive and having that curiosity and that difference to make sure that you bring your differences to work every day so we can all work and appreciate the world from a different lens. How do we add value to our clients if we all brought the same solution? You can't. You need to all bring different ideas, different perspectives, different solutions. So through the different individual experiences you all may have had through life, you will approach situations differently to others, and your mindset will be different. And that's what we actually love here at EY, is having all of those differences, looking at the world differently. It's facing different challenges on a daily basis, learning to be resilient. I know someone mentioned resilient a bit earlier on, and challenging those norms. Questioning the why. Why is something done like that? How can we improve it? How can we be better? And learning from everyone's individual insights. So one way we like to kind of show these differences is in the next slide. So this is a difference of point of view. Someone's holiday might be someone's help. I know for me, camping is not my thing. I would much rather be on a cruise. So camping to me would be help. A holiday on a cruise would be fabulous. So it's really about different point of view. So you can sort of see the different flip. So even in this call, we can see the differences that we all have. Someone's point of view is completely different to somebody else's. So here at EY, we really do cherish the different perspectives and different points of view that everyone brings. And that, doesn't have to be globally in terms of culture or language or gender, but it also means your race, sexual orientation, your gender identity, your age, your cultural identity, disability. So this really, altogether, this brings us those high-performing teams culture. And we know that we have and we need to have that inclusive culture to enable everybody here to feel that they can flourish, they can have a sense of belonging. And it's also what our clients expect, and it's what our community, both internally at EY but also externally to EY, you all deserve. You all deserve people that can be their true authentic selves at both the workplace and outside the workplace.
Thank you so much, Tara, for that overview of the global mindset. We're going to jump into our Q&A segment for this evening. So we are joined with a few members of EY who do work across a few of our teams that we have here. So we're actually joined tonight by Eliza, Harry, and Natalie. So I will pass over to Eliza just to do a quick introduction about themselves and just a little bit about the work that they do.
Thanks, Erin, and nice to see all you guys on the call today. So my name is Eliza. I am a people advisory consultant based out of Canberra in the ACT. So I've been with EY for coming up to a year and recently completed a Bachelor of Commerce at the Australian University. We focus around a lot of work in relation to sort of more HR advisory roles. People and culture is kind of our jam. And we do a lot of work with government departments in the ACT. So lots of the nitty-gritty behind the scenes that you potentially don't get to see every day.
Thanks, Eliza. I'll hand over to Harry as well.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone on the call. Some fascinating insights that I've been hearing over the last half an hour or so. Very similar to Eliza, I've been a part of the EY People Advisory team since around July last year. I actually went to school in Sydney and moved down to Canberra to study at the Australian National University back in 2017. I completed a Bachelor of Politics, Philosophy and Economics, as well as Commerce on the side. Pretty much, I don't want to steal anything from Eliza, but just to elaborate a bit more, at its very core, what we do in People Advisory is really human-centered solutions. We love to understand what makes people really tick. And we also like to unpack, some of those key elements of a really high effective and high functioning workforce or team. I can't talk more highly of the team itself and of EY. I'll pass back on to yourself, Erin.
Thanks so much, Harry. And tonight we're also joined by Natalie, who's one of our managers here at EY.
So hi everyone, I'm a manager in our business consulting team. I've predominantly been working in the national security and defence account over the last almost 4 years at being at EY. Time really flies. But before I kind of joined consulting, I studied commerce in marketing and management. So definitely more on the creative side rather than analytical and numerical, but everyone kind of flexes between both, I think.
What type of university degrees do you look for?
So
this is from Andrew.
Oh, perfect. Thanks, Andrew, for your question. So specifically in the supply chain team that sits under business consulting, we look for very much people who have done commerce, law students, engineering's also a plus, as well as politics and economics. And very much our team at the moment is connected with the finance team. So any accounting and finance, definitely those are the types of degrees we're looking for.
Thank you, Natalie. We've also got Danielle's popped in the chat box. Harry, what did you study at university?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Danielle. I studied politics, philosophy and economics, or PPE. I think it's a relatively new degree I think it came into Australia the last couple of years. I think it's offered across a range of universities this day. And I also did a double bachelor with commerce, majoring in international business. But just on something that Natalie mentioned before, within Eliza and I's team, you'd be quite surprised. We actually have a real wide array of university degrees. A lot of people, I think, and something that I personally thought of when I was coming into university was, do these sort of jobs require you to have a commerce degree? And I guess, maybe the simple answer is not necessarily. We have a lot of psychologists who come in, people that study international relations. A big part of what we do is, kind of big picture thinking, and it's a matter of whether you can connect the dots, join the dots from multiple different angles and come across, and come together with a bunch of different perspectives to create a sort of streamlined and aligned approach. So anything really that requires big picture thinking within the people advisory team.
Thanks so much, Harry. We've got another question from Danielle again. Do you have any recommendations on what high school students should study in year 11 or 12 to prepare them for a career at EY?
I can happily take this one. I think Erin and Danielle, when we're looking for applicants that come through the EY Vacationer program or the grad program, it's not so much what you actually study in years 11 and 12. Of course, you do the core subjects like English, maths, but it's actually about how you find your interest in what you're doing at school, because that really shows when we have conversations with people. For example, we have a fantastic grad in my team at the moment whose passion is all about sustainability. You don't necessarily always study that at school, but since she's come to EY, we have so many sustainability programs, and particularly she's leading some of the sustainability work in supply chain. So my advice is do the core things, of course, but then also find out what you're interested in, because the people who follow their passions and interests, it really comes through when we're interviewing and talking about experiences.
Thank you, Natalie. We've got a question in here from Minori, who's asked, can you tell us a little more about the work, like the clients that you work with?
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in on that one. So obviously, point here for Harry and I is that we are based out of the ACT. So we do a lot of work with sort of the government sectors, and we do definitely see a lot more of that given the demographic that we're working within. But in general, across the board, what you would see in people advisories, we have such a broad range of clients that we could work with. We also work with a lot more bespoke areas as well. So looking at education, sustainability is also a big part across PAS as well. And also looking at some really niche and interesting areas that you might find in between. So I know we've done bits and pieces internationally as well with different governments and private clients overseas. So you get a broad range of people that you get to interact with and companies that you get to learn about, which is always super exciting and really refreshing. But if you definitely have an area that you are quite passionate about, to Natalie's point, sustainability, if there's something that you do in school and you really want to see how you can bring it through, most likely there is some way that you can actually bring that passion into a client that we work with. We work with so many of them.
Look, we want to thank the panel for coming along, answering some really great questions that we did have. Oh, no, we've got one last one. I lied. Dina has asked, can you summarize what it's like to be a business consultant?
I think that one might be me, given business consulting pops up under my name. So essentially, it's very much what we look in a business consultant is people who can think through problems and work with teams. Those are the two things I look for when I'm kind of bringing grads or vacationers on to different projects on my teams, which is, one, you have to be a great team player. You have to know how to work with people, also interact with clients and stakeholders, but also be able to kind of work with the team or yourself to actually problem solve through, for example, if you need to assess how mature an organization is, with really kind of broad direction from leadership, how can you take that on your own and kind of turn it into something? But yeah, on a day-to-day, you definitely work heaps with teams. You also have time to kind of work alone to do thinking, but collectively, I think the really important thing that I emphasize to people is you're never actually out on a project on your own ever. There's always people in your team or at EY who can give you that support. Thanks, Erin.
Thanks so much, Natalie. And thank you to the three of you for joining us tonight and answering the questions that did come through. I'm sure if anyone has LinkedIn and would love to connect with either of you, I'm sure you'd be more than open to that. So feel free, if anyone does have a LinkedIn account, to reach out to our reps who have joined us tonight. But I do appreciate you taking the time out and coming along. So thank you so much.
Thanks all.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So just a little bit about future opportunities for when you kind of do start university. Opportunities come not just if you're in your penultimate and final year. We do have a range of different programs that we run, so keep an eye out for them. We have the Career Compass program. This one here is if you're in your first year and you want to come along, meet some EY professionals, get to know a bit more about the EY brand, a bit of collaboration and networking skills. We do run that over a 1 to 2 day program, depending on where you are currently located. We also run a program called the Game Changers Club, where you'll get to come learn a bit about our sustainability, learn more about EY and the opportunities that we can provide you later down the track. For our Game Changers Club, this is primarily people from their second year onwards. So you'll get to meet a range of EY professionals, get to learn a little bit more about the service lines and the types of work, and kind of see where your degree might fit in or the passions that you do have to take you into a role here with EY. So as our teams did mention a little bit earlier, we do look across a range of different degrees. So don't think that you have to have a certain degree to fit a certain team. Some of the degrees we do see as accounting, IT, human resources, mathematics, data science. I've seen physiotherapists come through, business, marketing. The degrees out there are unlimited. We also see people with political science backgrounds as well who come in and become consultants. So there's a range of different roles that we have on offer. So when it gets to that time and you are looking for your next career opportunity, whether it be as a vacationer with us or as a graduate, and you're not sure where your degree might fit into, feel free to reach out to one of us within the campus team. We're more than happy to kind of give you more information and also help guide you if you might have a passion in technology. So we can show you our tech degrees and any kind of passion that you do have or a desire. It might be healthcare, it might be environmental. Just let us know and we can help fit the degree for you. But yeah, just a little bit of getting ready for your future. So try and be proactive when you're forging your career path. We're all about building a better working world, but we're also about you building the future that you want. So we'll give you all the tools and opportunities to take your career in many different ways that you're after. And that's through advanced development, learning opportunities, which is all provided by EY to make sure that you are able to build that career that you're seeking. Try and read up on different articles. So there's so much information out there to help develop that global mindset. whether it be newspaper articles, blogs, TED Talks, or podcasts. So much information that you can absorb in many different ways. But we might actually wrap that up tonight. So would like to thank you all again for joining us this evening. Feel free to reach out to any of us who were on the call tonight. We're more than happy to answer any questions offline, or if you want to just seek additional information, feel free to reach out to any of us. But we appreciate you all coming tonight. But yeah, if you have questions after this call, feel free to reach out to any of our representatives.
Wonderful. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for all the EY business reps for your time and your insights of what it's like to be working at EY. And thanks for everyone who attended today's session. As Erin mentioned, if you have any questions, please reach out to any of us. We're available on LinkedIn if you have a LinkedIn account. If not, reach out to Explore Careers. I'm sure their representative would be more than happy to direct yourself to one of us. Thanks, everyone. Hope you have a great evening.